I'll just keep doing this until actually I don't know. There are a lot of these. Spore. That's I wanted to make just a list of games I want to play.
You
I
Spore's
haven't
the
yet.
wanna play category.
Yeah, I've never played it. That was one of those games that I thought was really cool when I was a kid and just never got to play.
I played it and all I did was fuck around in the character creator like the whole time. The character
That's
creator
what I
is
want
so
to do.
fun. That's easily the best part of that game.
Remember Prey?
A
Oh, Portal 2 needs to go in the Gmod.
Yeah, definitely don't sleep on Half-Life 2, dude. Those are very prestigious games.
Yeah. I want to beat a lot of the junk. There's like a bunch of games where it's not I don't know if they're junk yet, but they were given to me as if they were junk, you know? Like I got them and didn't buy them on purpose.
Oh, like they came in a bundle or for free or whatever.
Yeah, just I have them for some reason. Risk global domination. I can't believe I paid money for that.
Wasn't that free?
I feel like I paid. Oh no, it's Uno that we paid money for.
Yeah, that was like $3.
No, it was 10.
You paid $10 for Uno?
Yeah, I didn't get it on sale.
Damn. All
I
right.
thought
Well,
like, all right. I mean,
we've been up for a minute now. I'm just gonna. We're gonna finish jobs. I don't know. I mean, not finish. We're gonna continue working on jobs. Yesterday we got fractal cube spins, this whole deal, and we got to the point where he was gonna just completely overhaul that and just delete everything we've done and start over. So that was kind of annoying. So we decided that was a good stopping point. So we'll see how far we get today. Who knows? Depends how much stuff we decide is filler and how much stuff we decide is like fun and we want to mess with.
yeah, it looks like I read ahead a little bit, and it looks like it's like we're setting up something. Like we're setting things up to work better.
A lot of build
I
up.
forget. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the stuff I'm not specifically thinking like, oh, I'm gonna need to make a fractal that rotates idly, but it's just like getting practice, messing with Unity, getting practice, understanding how scripts work related to objects and yada yada. Just getting comfortable with all this.
Yeah. What we're
I'm
doing right
getting.
now is uh like we're making it so that the objects aren't all children of each other. We're like
What does
making our
that
own
benefit?
hierarchy. Cuz well, if you go he explains it right before he deletes everything.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? It has to update the parts in isolation and then calculate their object to world conversion and then cull them and then render them. So I think the idea is um, we might be able to improve performance by simplifying the hierarchy. That's all. So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
We're setting something up that will make the objects like act like they're parented.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just delete everything and then copy and paste in these serialized fields.
Ultra kill. That's a favorites.
We're going to use the same directions and rotations for our fractal parts. This time we'll store those in static arrays for easy access later. So we gotta hook up the material and the mesh now that we have this field. So I could just delete this thing then, right? And then I go to... Oh, wait, no, I don't. Do I? I guess it doesn't matter. I think I could just delete these, like the mesh render and all that shit, and just have it be just transform fractal script. And then the mesh, I'll have to create a cube, I suppose. Oh, I'm a dummy. I could just pick the mesh here. Okay, and then material, strawberry. Is that even necessary? Why do we even do that?
What?
He puts all of these into like arrays. Oh, I guess because you could just do it in one line then.
Yeah, then instead of writing quaternion identity, you could just write
rotations
one, yeah, or
Or
rotation 0.
Okay, well, I'll get to work on that. Where's this? Just below in depth 4, I'm assuming. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm surprised I've never heard the word quaternion before this. Because people throw it around so casually within just talking about Unity. I see it so much now. But I feel like I've never heard of this word.
It's well, have you done Calc 3?
No.
That's where it comes in.
I don't think I'm going to need to take that at all.
Oh, really?
I'd
Pretty
like to, I
helpful
guess.
Well, the 3 is 3D. It's Calc 2, but then they add the third dimension.
That's why they call it Calc 3.
Yeah. At least in my experience, that's what it was. Maybe it's different, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
I guess I'll just ask Vaughn. Vaughn's taking it right now.
Calc 3, the one thing that I really remember getting good at was drawing a 3D graph on paper.
I can see that, yeah, if you have to do it all the time.
Yeah, like literally every problem you have to explain, and you have to draw it.
Yeah, there's definitely a part of me that wishes I could have taken Calc 3, but I also am pretty... there's also another part that's like grateful I didn't have to, because it would have been really hard, probably.
I think I probably would have much worse experience with it, but I took it during. I had one semester at San Jose where I only had 12 units. It was so easy. That I lived on campus. So I had just a fuck ton of free time. That was also when I got really into Smash.
Yeah, I've been taking an average of 12 generally. That's just like the safe number.
Maybe it was less. Oh no. It was 10. It wasn't 12. I was thinking, I forgot that units were, usually classes are 3, and then lab classes are 4.
Why why don't we need to guard against infinite recursion this time? Like what's is it because we're using a function or something?
Yeah, because originally the because like the first script was called fractal, and then within fractal we would use fractal, the type fractal. So like by writing that, it would by default like go forever. Does that make sense?
I guess, but isn't this going to be the same thing? Like this is going to run forever too cuz it's within an awake.
No, awake is 1 frame.
Oh, fuck. I was thinking it was update. Okay.
Yeah, awake is when it first starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I had that hurdle.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, this is like what makes these tutorials good is the authors focus on like doing everything in code.
Sometimes I'll pause and I'll like he'll say what he's going to do next and I'll be like, "Okay, I'm going to try to be clever and like I'm going to go ahead and suggest what I think should be done." And he's always like 30 times more clever than me. Like it's so ridiculous how clever these methods he comes up with are. And like
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
want to get to that level.
part of the tutorial thing like it makes it seem like he's doing it and writing down his steps, but he's like doing it, making mistakes, coming back, figuring out like, oh wait, this would be a better thing than this, and then changing the tutorial. So this is the best of after all the after testing. Like he had a whole experiment thing before.
Or he's just testing performance and all that.
Yeah. So he's like making sure that what he's saying is like the cleverest possible.
Edit ass component. What? Why am I getting an error? Oh, okay. What is a mesh filter?
I think that's like the thing that shows the mesh. Like how you have mesh filter and then you have collider. But if you take off collider, like you have like it's like an image, but it's 3D.
The mesh filter. So if I remove the mesh filter, there'll just be an invisible box.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, that's what the mesh renderer is.
Oh.
What is the mesh filter?
Then that mesh filter must be the material. No, mesh filter is the mesh.
Then mesh renderer is the material?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the
Oh,
next
that.
step.
Okay, that makes sense. So if we were trying to make this like a game object, we'd have to also add a third thing for collision here, or like a rigid body or something like that. Like create a
Yeah,
rigid body
well, it is
material.
already a game object.
I guess that's true, but like I meant like if it was a
Yeah,
thing we wanted
an
to use.
interactable physics object.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have to add a rigid body. Or you'd want a collider. A rigid body would make it fall off.
Oh yeah.
Did you get an error for add component?
Yeah, but you have it's because I had to add the uh, brackets mesh filter.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm on 2.3 right now, I think.
I still don't really know. Like, I've used the bracket syntax a lot, but I don't really get brackets.
From my understanding, it's like, well, I guess which use specifically?
Like this one, add component and then mesh filter.
Oh,
Like, I
like
get it for naming,
the pointy
but
ones.
yeah, but I don't get when to use. Like, I guess it's just case by case, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird because it does have parentheses after it, so it seems
Yeah,
like
so
it's.
you're
Hmm.
still invoking add component, but then you're you're specifying. But
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
I don't know which things need that to be specified like that. Okay, so we're adding a mesh filter component and we're specifying that the mesh within that mesh filter is our mesh. And then the same thing for the material.
Yeah, that's what I had to. That's what made it really clear the difference between filter and renderer. Was when he explicitly says, like in that last step, like you could see rendered material. So now it should just spawn a sphere when we run it. Or mine's a cube, but yeah.
Oh right, we made an empty, right?
Well, all I did was just delete the mesh filter and the collision and all that on the existing thing I had.
Yeah. And then we're just adding it in code instead.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to know. I feel like if that is easier or if that is like better performance, I feel like that's an easy couple lines.
I don't really like that though. 'Cause then like I can't arrange level design shit in the overworld. I have to like do it all with code.
What do you mean?
Like if I where I want specific things to be, like I couldn't just be like, oh, that fridge needs to be scooted to the left a little bit. I would have to like go into play mode, look at it, exit play mode, go into code, change my code so that it spawns like a little bit more up on the y-axis or something, and then go back and then hit play mode and then check it.
No,
Whereas like,
no, the transform is different than the mesh. I'm pretty sure you can move stuff.
but it's not like there's
Either way.
nothing here. Like if I wanted to be like oh, this cube should be over to the left more, I can tell while in play mode, and then I exit play mode and it's just gone. Like I don't
But
have
then
a
you can, I guess that's true.
like I can't just physically be like, oh, this should be right there, and then like leave it there. I have to.
I just mean for if we need to optimize stuff, this is the way to do it. Once our stuff is already in the right spot.
Maybe that, yeah. Okay. Rather than have each part update itself, we'll instead control the entire fractal from the single root object that has the fractal component. This is much easier for Unity because it only has to manage a single updating game object instead of potentially thousands. But to do this, we'll need to keep track of the data for all parts in a single fractal component. At minimum, we need to know the direction and rotation of a part. We could keep track of those by storing them in arrays, but instead of using separate arrays for vectors and quaternions, we'll group them together by creating a new fractal part struct type. This is done like defining a class, but with struct keyword instead of class, as we'll only need this type inside fractal define it inside that class along with its fields. Don't make it public for the same reason. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I really got that.
We're making a new type, basically.
We're making a fractal part like type.
Yeah. So that we can reference it later. And it's a thing that has both a vector 3 direction and a quaternion.
Okay.
Instead of doing two at once, we can combine them. This type will function as a simple container for data that's bundled together and treated like a single value, not an object. Okay. To make it possible for other code in Fractal to access fields inside this nested type, they need to be made public. Note that this only exposes the fields inside Fractal because the struct itself is private inside Fractal.
Why did he specifically say don't make it public and then he made it public?
Where did he... Oh.
As we'll only need this type inside fractal to define it inside that class along with its field. Don't make it public for the same reason. That's weird. Whatever.
Probably just so he can explain why it's public.
It's more like don't make it public yet. Okay, so we're making, what, a two-dimensional array after this?
Although it although it's possible to put all parts in a single large array, let's instead give all parts of the same level their own array. Okay, so the first level of array won't have that many things in it.
It's just gonna have other arrays.
Yeah.
So on the awake function, it creates a parts thing that is a new entry in the array at the level. Where does depth come from again? Oh, that's like which number
Oh, we
on the
shouldn't have
recursion
deleted
it
that.
is.
That was in there from before.
I
You didn't
kept,
erase that bit.
yeah, I kept that.
I deleted it.
It's just int depth equals 4 and then the serialized field, which is a range between 1 and 8. I have it highlighted on my screen if you want to.
It's okay. I know it. Okay. Then in awake,
I guess I'm not super clear with how this is like being used. Like, is this part going to be run multiple times as like each fractal gets created? I guess that's the idea, because that's why depth is like a variable rather than a fixed number.
wait, say that again?
Like, is this awake function going to be called like over and over and over again by like
No, it's
each
one
time?
time.
Well, yeah, but like each time a new fractal is created, does that one have its own
No.
script?
This
So,
first line just says parts is equal to a new array where the of depth 4, let's say 4, of depth 4, and then that's 4 arrays, they're saying. It only does it once. It just sets up that parts is equal to an array of depth size.
okay, it just feels like it's set up as if it's going to be like changing, since it has a variable for the. If there's a variable in the like argument of the array, that just
Well,
threw
it's
me
only
off.
for, it does it at the start because it's in the serialized field. Like when you first choose 4 and then you press play, you can't change it after because it does
Okay.
it on awake. It won't update. Each level gets its own array, also the root level of the fractal that has only a single part. So begin by creating a new fractal part array for a single element and assigning it to the first level. Oh, okay. So the point of doing it on awake is that we get it all out of the way while the game is running. It generates before the game even starts. Okay, I misunderstood this line, but it's we're taking the first array of parts and assigning a size a fractal part array of one size or of size 1, I guess.
What's in it?
So with only
Just
one thing in
nothing?
it. What?
It's just an empty slot right now that we'll fill with something later? Or is there
Yeah,
anything in it right now?
we're defining the first array as only being having one thing in it, which is that's the biggest object in the fractal. To create an array for the other level. Okay, we're at the same part, I think.
Okay. Okay, so we both have the for loop going.
Yeah.
This little chart is interesting. How quickly that balloons.
Yeah. To check whether we create parts correctly, add a parameter for the level index. Okay. Add a parameter for the level index to create part and append it to the part's name.
So this is the bit where it's going to tell us like what number fractal it is on the naming scheme thing.
Yeah, so when we call this uh or it's not call this function. They don't say that on this. They say invoke this method. when we invoke this method, we specify the index, and then it adds it to its name. Pass 0 for the level index of the first part, then follow that with a loop over all levels, starting at index 1 because we explicitly did the single part of the top level first. Right.
So it creates the root one, and then it goes into a loop to create all the branches.
Yeah. And the loop goes from 1 until parts.length. I wonder which one that gets. I forget. That doesn't get depth. That gets the...
Well, depth has to be involved somewhere in this loop, right? Okay, so I should be able to have it where it'll spawn all these fractals. Oh, it only makes one. Why is it only making one?
So I guess after this, I'm going to try and replace parts length with depth and see if it's the same thing. Because I think it is.
Okay, there it goes. So now it's in the same thing as before, where they're all just stacking on top of each other.
For everybody that for everybody that thought I didn't have a rock bird, by the way. Yeah.
So what does this mean? What is a child index?
Hold on. Almost there. So what? It's just the number, like what number child it is.
I thought they weren't like children of each other. Oh, I
Well,
guess
they're
it's
not actual children, but we're doing the same thing basically. Like it's still making smaller things.
we're just not actually doing the parenting within Unity.
Yeah, because that's what slows it down.
Damn, 3 nested for loops. I watched Full Metal Jacket today, and
Oh yeah.
the bird is the word is in it, and I didn't remember that.
Oh yeah.
That was really funny in the moment. In my head, that was just a complete joke song. Like, I forgot that was a real song. Okay. Oh, I gotta control S actually. I always forget to do that. I have to like manually save the script before it updates in Unity. Okay, so now it tells us what level it is and what child it is. Level 1
Well,
child.
everything, each piece will have 4 children except the last layer. So like, no, I don't know if does that make child 4 the same as child like layer 1 or layer 2, you know?
There's like multiple layer 3 child 1s. Like, wouldn't that. Why are they the same?
Hold on.
I'm confused.
Let me finish typing this, then I'll
Okay.
C++. Oh, it's so there's multiples because they're not like moved yet, but they're saying like the one on like it goes to the left, that child one or wait. Oh, I just understood it, but then saying it out loud messed me up.
So it's got root, and then it creates
But like
4
each
other
one,
things.
if you think of them as mirrors, like it's the same number in each direction. There'd be 4 or 5 of each. Yeah, 0 through 4.
And this would be 0, C2, C3, and then C0. And then this, whatever, would be L2, L2, L2. And then this would also be L2, L2, yada yada yada. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense why there's 2 repeats because like this is L2 child 1 and so is this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so all parts of the same level have the same scale. That's true. So we only need to set it once when creating each part. Cool. Okay, where are you at?
I'm at when he's changing the fractal part or the create part to return fractal part. Like 2.5. rebuilding the fractal.
Okay. So we're changing fractal part to or create part to a fractal part type. And then at the end, it returns. So, well, we're not using it yet, so.
Yeah, so this is where the directions and rotations and all that arrays come back into play finally that we made earlier.
Oh, I get this now. There was a thing I was missing that I forgot about. It was the first part in this, or this bit, where we say direction is equal to directions child index. That when I said before how like isn't parts length the same as depth? It is because oh wait, no, depth is something else, sorry. That's dumb. Those are the directions, but the directions are already defined the same way as the children. And the rotation's the same way.
So we just put that as the argument in the array and then we're good.
Yeah. The child index it works the same because they don't have a direction yet, so we really just have 5 children. And since that's why like originally we say the create part 0 because we want the first one to be the base one.
That is very clever.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm on copy the returned parts to the correct array elements.
Yeah, me too.
Copy the returned parts to the correct array elements in awake. That's the first element of the first array for the root part. For other parts, it's the element of the current level array with the index equal to the fractal part index. As we
increase that index in steps of 5, the child index has to be added to it as well.
Wait, so copy the return parts to the correct array elements in awake. That's the first element of first array for the root part. For other parts, it's the element of the current level array with the index equal to the fractal part index. As we increase that index in steps of 5, the child index has to be added to it as well. That flew over my head. Where's parts?
From what I'm getting just by looking at the code, it's that we're like assigning it as the what's it called? Like as the array rather than just like calling the function. It's like getting put into a variable of some sort because it returns like it has to have a container variable now.
So yeah, I mean, okay. I get it, at least this first line. Instead, we're doing the same thing, but we're also stating that the create part that we made is the first thing in the array of that first, and we said that the first array is only size 1.
Okay.
So that would make our biggest piece the parent basically.
This one is not grabbing me too much anymore. There's not enough. I feel like a toddler. I need to have keys jingled in front of me. There's no fun. I haven't like run anything in Unity in like a millennium.
That's what. Well, originally, that's what I was trying to say without being able to say it correctly. But how we were just building a structure. We're not like making anything new. We're just building the array structure so that we can store everything that we see.
So at the end of this, we're just gonna have what we already had anyways. Before.
Yeah, but
It's
it'll
just a
run
better.
much better.
Okay.
I guess we are at an hour if you want to call it for this one.
I want to at least get to the point where we're
Yeah,
we actually have something.
We did 2, or we're in 2 right now.
So yeah, let's just
3.
wrap up 2. Oh well.
Oh man,
Never
3
mind.
seems even. 3 will put you to sleep.
Oh man. God, there's
Yeah,
no
like
cool pictures.
Yeah, it's not like play with toys anymore.
It was so fun before. Whatever. I mean, maybe next time
That's
we'll
the-
do the character movement one.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, you can definitely do that without knowing this stuff.
This stuff's starting to lose me. I mean, I guess I also am not in the best mindset right now, anyways. So it's probably not
This is
ideal.
this is Nan.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that teaches them about Nan in the city?
I don't remember his name.
I'm gonna look that up really quick.
What the fuck? Where does this go? Where is this?
The Nen teacher from Hunter x Hunter. Wing.
Wing.
Wing is Zushi's teacher. Oh, I forgot about Zushi.
Oh yeah. What the fuck, man? Ugh. I don't know where this is. I feel like I might have missed a line.
What part?
The part where he adds fractal part brackets parent parts equals parts L1 minus 1.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Okay, I'll figure it
Hold
out.
on, wait.
Or I'll work on it. Oh, I'm in the wrong loop, that's why.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see an update function actually.
Okay, I see why I was so confused now. I was in the awake rather than the update.
It seems like we're moving towards animation. That's why we're setting it up in the update function.
Where did parent parts come from? Did we ever make that?
Yeah, he makes it here, fractal part parent parts equals parts layer index minus 1. Do you see that?
Where on the page is that?
2 boxes above the little picture. It's a for loop. Wait, where are you? Yeah, right there.
Oh, I see. Okay, I fucked up.
So in the awake function, that's when we make all the pieces, and then the update function is where we position them. So that, and we put the positioning, the update function, so that we could animate it.
That makes sense. Okay. I got the thing.
That's some easy math. The parts transform is equal to the parent transform plus part transform local scale x times part direction. Okay. Local poison.
Poison?
I did poison on accident. I can't tell if that 1.5 is... I don't get that part. I suppose the part's too close together to their parents, but... Oh.
Alright. Right back where we started. Just better performance. Yeah, 8 is still not really viable. That makes sense though. It's a fucking lot. Okay. I'm good.
I think I want to go back through the... I'll do this myself, but I want to go back through the measuring performance thing, because I get I get the sense that it could be fun to just like, once you like get something working, to then just go through performance and look like, oh, CPU is the problem, so then like chain or like simplify what the engine has to do a little bit.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit I'm gonna need a lot of time to adjust to. That's not something I ever really considered.
Well, optimizing is like, that's the next level pretty much. That's like why so many games run shitty. Like so many indie games can run shitty.
Yeah, but I just like I can't even make a shitty running game right now, let alone
Yeah.
like I don't know. It just feels like should I be focusing on
No, I
optimizing
mean,
so
once we're
soon?
done with this, then we're done with it. This is level 2. We're not there yet. But it's good to see what it's like.
I just I want more time of making practical things, and then I can come back to this and be like, oh, like that's why it runs like dog shit, you know? Because like the one
Yeah.
like finished product we have like runs like absolute ass, and that's like I'm sure there's reasons we could, you know, guess at, but if we had a tool like this, I'm sure it would be, you know, red flags everywhere. So I want to get to the level I'm at in Unreal and Unity. Like I want to be able to do the same level of shit, which isn't too much further. But yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'll call it there
Cool.
because I'm tired. But I hope you will do that measuring performance thing. That sounds like that sounds very helpful, especially if it sounds like fun to you. Then it's like fun and helpful. It's like a good
Well, I
overlap.
just want to figure out I just want to go over what he does again so I
Yeah.
could do it myself.
That one I just kind of read along. I should have. I figured I would just come back to it, like you were saying later. But yeah, all right. I'll call it there. Sorry, this one was really down. We're kind of just reading the whole time. But whatever.
I can't get
It
this
doesn't
to
matter.
work now, actually.
You got an error?
Did you get to this part? The... Right here? Oh, wait, what the... I scrolled down and started writing stuff that was ahead. Never mind.
Oh.
That's why. But yeah, I'm good.
What else does he do in this?
He animates it. That's the next...
Isn't it already
Or did
animated?
you do that already?
Yeah, I'm at 3. I'm like at the beginning of 3.
Oh, okay. I'm at the beginning of 2.6 still.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's fine.
Like, what else does he do in the rest of this? What is he doing? Just more optimization, I guess.
Because our fractal
Using
currently
multiple
has
cores.
a single object, lots of almost identical children by rendering the graph's points procedurally instead of... Oh, okay. So the next step is instead of doing a specific sphere, just doing the math to get like each point in the place of where it is. And then you could assign objects to those points, I assume.
This next one's interesting. Looks like he's making like bushes or like
Yeah.
germs.
Oh, and at the end, oh, this is where the jobs comes in. Yeah, there's no practicality here until like he's just making it perfect basically.
Yeah, I think I'll call it for now, and then I think I'll move on to the character movement one. And if I get lost in that one, I think I might start just doing like YouTube tutorials for a while, just to get more foundations. Because when I thought of like, oh cool, it's a basics tutorial, like this is not the shit I was thinking of at all. This is really cool though.
They exceed 100 FPS at depth 8.
By the end of jobs?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
On his system too. It seems like his system is shittier.
Damn. That's impressive.
He splits it up into multiple cores on the CPU.
I mean, I guess that, again, that's probably a thing that's important, knowing how to do that kind of shit. But I just feel like that's like level 7, and I'm like just getting ready to start level 1.
Mm-hmm.
All
right. Good work.
Well, goodbye to the stream. Good jam.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.